Hey there, fellow Vault Dwellers. Welcome back to playthrough of Fallout 4. I am Stubbs the Wizard, your host of the most. And we are playing through as Queen D. There she is. The beauteous Jamaican queen who only uses knives. And that's it.
Why can't the Institute just leave us alone?
Who asked you? Um, so the way this started was I was playing Dark Souls 2. Uh, my buddy, I'm Not Great, and I are doing a playthrough that. And I forgot how I just forgot how much of a slog that was. It's such a long game, and so I took a break to just play a little bit of Fallout 4. The Queen saw it, and she's like, "Well, what happened? What happened with your son? What happened with the boy? Where's my boy?" You know, and like, well, that's the game. She's like, "Well, you're gonna have to play it because I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to our boy." You know, like, well, okay. so So we are playing it now. I've been sidetracked, as you know. Fallout 4, you can't go directly to get Sean. And she's like, why are you doing all this other stuff? You know, I'm like, well, yeah, in real life you wouldn't. Um, in real life she'd pick up her machete and go find her infant. You know, but this is a game, so you don't. And so it's like, well, things have been blown up. You're learning. You're getting stronger. You're figuring out who you can trust and all this stuff. And so I played it off like that. But really, it's just how the game is. You can get to Sean a lot quicker than I am, but I want to enjoy this. So right now we've found Nick Valentine, sent him back to his office. We haven't talked to him yet in his office. We'll do that pretty soon. We're stopped by the library. I wanted to get that surgical manual out so that I do more limb damage. Now, she is going to have a problem here when the super mutants attack because with this perk, um, she hits all the targets in front of her, so she's probably going to kill some protectrons. If not careful, but we'll do our best. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that door there chained. We're already to the side of it, and what we'll do is we'll make our way back out this way, fighting our way through all the super mutants, and hopefully not kill too many of the protectrons. So let's get after it. And the attack is triggered from getting over here and getting into this stuff.
I guess you've got your reasons.
Sweet.
Nothing
That
I need.
looks like junk to me.
Attention! Security breach near rear entrance.
There we go. We have to clear them. Here we go. That got them both, or maybe all three. So here we're only in danger of being hit by,
Scream! Scream for mercy!
No, you scream for mercy. Look how she's holding that knife. That's excellent. Very military. Oh, off came his leg. We'll come back and loot them later. We're gonna hurt Preston Garvey because he's hitting the same guy. Hey, dog. All right. This is quite the battle. There's so many left to do. Yeah. Got them both. You see that? Hey, this makes me stop.
Glad that's over.
So that's an example of the danger of. We'll come back and loot these guys. The danger where I can hurt a robot.
This is now a free fire zone.
Okay, so. Oh, I better heal up. Look at that. They've been blowing up the queen, although she really hurt them a lot worse.
Time to die!
Oh crap. Alright. Blew him up. Look at her go. I'm so proud of her. Look at this. So this is the strength of that perk that lets her hit everybody in front of her.
You humans! So stupid! So weak!
Why did it say it's clear and there's still a super mutant there? He's trying to run? Oh, it's poor Protectron. Okay, we gotta loot this up. But we've cleared the library. Gotta find the ones that are fresh. Don't need a minigun. Let's see. Unyielding girded leather chest piece. I don't know what that does exactly. We'll take it. That's gonna be about useless for her, but it'll sell. Okay. Heavy sledgehammer, no thank you. Already got that. Let's go loot these guys. There's nothing legendary over here. Mongrel dog meat. Cunning armor, combat armor chest piece. Oh, that might be pretty good. Oops. Plus vigilant perception. But it's not going to give enough defense. So after I do the library, I'm gonna think of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some stuff offline, like not recording it. Like maybe some railroad quests and stuff. Although maybe I will record it. Might as well, I suppose. One of the things I thought about is getting Curie. Because Curie is, in terms of defense, she is the best character in the game. She has the highest natural defense. So in robot form, I think the other companions catch up about level 50. But you can also put a bunch of stuff on her that, oh, Dalen died. Put a bunch of stuff on her to make her have more armor, but also,
Not many of those anymore.
when she gets into her synth mode, it's like level 100 before anybody else's catches up, and also you can put all sorts of armor on her synth as well. So she's a good one to have. But I think actually a lot of it I'm going to do with Dogmeat as a companion. Although I think I can't get away from Preston, I think, the rest of the game because that quest is broken. If I dismiss him, he just hovers in my hip pocket, wanting to destroy egg clutches with me. Or with the queen, which there are no more egg clutches. We already have the castle. Alright, let's take a look at this. So what they're trying to do here is preserve the library and all the knowledge. Kind of reminiscent of the Library of Alexandria in Egypt that got burned down. Lost a lot of ancient texts in that. So this is Gibbons. He's a curator. He says it's been getting more and more difficult, but we were able to get a hold of a few more books today. While I was scanning them in, I overheard Dalen telling Shelby that we should just compress the archives now and get out of here. So Dalen was over to the left, so he didn't make it. I thought about smacking upside his effing head, but I don't blame him for wanting to cut and run. It's been tough. We've lost so many, but it's all worth it, right? I mean, if we don't protect the knowledge stored on these machines, who will? 521. I told them they can leave whenever they wanted to. I'm not going to force them to stay. If they don't believe in what we're doing here, then it's better if they just get out of our way. If we don't collect everything, then what's the point? We've lost a few more, including Shelby. She will be missed, but I know she wouldn't have had it any other way. Well, that's dumb. She would have had it another way. She would have had it for her to stay alive, right? I mean, that's poor. I mean, yeah, I understand that what he meant, but that was not what he actually typed. What we're doing here is important. There's still a lot of books left. This knowledge will keep all future generations, or will help all future generations. It's up to us to keep pressing on. 8-5. I can't keep the box repaired anymore. The mutants are hitting us at least once a day. Unless we get help, it's only a matter of time before they wipe us out completely. This may be the last log I write. If it is, all I ask is that the person reading this does the right thing. Help us protect the information stored on the computers in the data room. The key to the storage room is behind this terminal. There are some supplies you may find useful there. Please only use them if you are going to further our cause. So help us protect the information stored on the computers in the data room. I don't really know exactly how you do that. I'm not remembering it anyway, but we'll see. We're going to find Gibbons in this door, though. There he is. Well, there's your problem. You fought with no pants on. In the military, that was actually frowned on, to fight with no pants on. Yeah, anyway. I do have a funny story about that, though. There was a friend of mine in my unit who had been in Korea. And when he was in Korea, Well, there's a bobblehead for intelligence.
Excellent.
Intelligence increase permanently by 1. Let's see what that will let her do now. This actually would be very good to get the medic. Man, she could almost get gun nut, but we don't need gun nut. We're doing more. Well, she only uses knives, so she might use a rifle or something, or a pistol hinder, like take out a turret across the room or something like that she can't reach with a knife. Okay, so back to my story about Epperson. So he was in Korea, yeah, at the DMZ, and so the DMZ, there's this well, it's the demilitarized zone is what it stands for, mini nuke. And I don't want this to. Well, okay, I'll take it. I don't care. All right, that did library's complete. So basically, for every American, or really, okay. Well, first of all, for every American soldier, there is a South Korean soldier that shadows him, basically. Okay, let's open this door. Which that doesn't really matter to the story, but so basically Epperson was in the barracks, and the movies kind of get it wrong sometimes, where they have the soldiers, they just have their guns right there in their bed with them or whatever, like right in the room. It's like that's not how it happens. They stay at their armor until you need to use them. Which in combat is generally pretty awful, so it stays with people a lot. But you have to get them from the armor. So at Epperson, he was out on his balcony, and there were, I guess, North Koreans coming up the hill or something like that. Or maybe not coming to the hill, but taking shots. And I guess that happens with some regularity, where the North Koreans just try to stir things up, I suppose. And so Epperson's in his underwear, actually, and he's out there. Oh man, I can remember this, him telling about this. That guy could tell a story, but oh, I hear robots. He was out there in his underwear on the balcony, and suddenly bullets hit close to him. They're like pew pew pew, like pew, pew, into the concrete around him. And let's see what we see. Oh, there they are. So, he's on the second floor, and he needs. Oh, it's behind me. Hello, sir. And so he just jumps off. I mean, it's not that far of a drop, and you can kind of maybe ease your way down a little bit. And but he's in his underwear, so he jumps down. He runs the armor. Of course, the armor.
Find that shooter.
Some poor sergeant.
Oh, good shot. Behind it's sort of like a, I don't know, it's a grate, like a prison bar, that he's behind. It's all locked up, and so, oh my gosh. I have no idea where that guy even went. I'm still in danger from something. Where did that guy go over here? I don't know where he went. Not gonna worry about it. Alright, so anyway, Epperson runs up to the armor behind his grate. Oh, poor settler. And he's in his underwear, and of course it's locked and all this stuff. And of course, Epperson's down a little wild-eyed because he's being shot at the second floor, and he's yelling at the armorer, "Give me my rifle," you know. And oh hey. Let's give that time to blow up. That was the last one. And so the armor, of course, is like, yeah, see how long that took? Armor's kind of like you're crazy, you know, and like, it's not exterminator combat shotgun, that's nice. But yeah, the armor's kind of like, what the heck? Oh, this is where that guy flew to, man. Man, she launched him. And Epperson grabs the bars of the armor's cage. And he was like, "Give me my rifle," and all this stuff, all like wild-eyed and yelling. And then the siren went off. There's an active attack or whatever. And Epperson's like, man, the armor's eyes got so wide because there's a crazy guy in his underwear yelling for his rifle. Then the siren of an attack comes off, you know, like he didn't know what to expect. Anyway, it was pretty funny. It was, yeah, good times. Epperson could tell a story, I'll tell you that. Man, that was a funny guy. I gotta tell you about the first time I met Epperson. It was really, really funny. But we're gonna try to make some Jamaican stew here. Bloatfly will go into Jamaican stew. Yeah. So, public service announcement. I think the Queen would like me to mention that they don't actually eat bugs in Jamaica like that. Like, they don't put cockroach and ant meat in their food. So there you go. Public service announcement. But I've had a Jamaican stew. It's really good. I've had a lentil soup. It's really good. Egg sandwiches on rye. Delectable. She puts a lot of love in her cooking, so there you go. And that continues in the game because she just cooked up some pretty good grilled dog or whatever. No, baked bloatfly. You know, I would eat it, and I wouldn't complain. All right, let me check my time here. All right, we're doing good. So, let me tell you about when I met the first time I ever met Epperson. He was the guy that I was talking about with was in the Korea thing. We were both on what's called KP, which is Kitchen Patrol is what it means, but it's basically you're helping. Basically, it just means you're helping the cooks, kind of, and everybody's got to do a turn at it, left arm, as enlisted anyway. So, Um, what's 19? Oh, that's better. Might as well do these.
Self-diagnostic. Please. I'm happy to report I won't be falling apart on you anytime soon.
Anyway, so basically, ever so often you have to go, you know, like clean dishes, clean the floors, all that stuff in the army. I mean, you know, like sometimes you'll have to be buffing the floors. And one of the things you have to do is you got to do what's called KP, or kitchen patrol, and that means you help the cooks do stuff. They actually direct you. And they say, you know, I need this dish, these dishes cleaned, or these potatoes peeled, or whatever, right?
Never fear, man. I will ensure your
I
safety
gotta,
to the
you
best
know,
of
I
my
gotta see if this
ability.
will. No, I'm gonna do it here. So anyway, I guess if anybody still has a question about what KP is, you can put it in the comments. I'll answer it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You're basically helping in the kitchen. So one of the things you have to do at the end of the shift is you have to. Preston love that. Preston didn't care. Look at bladed baseball bat. Something like that.
What's the angle here?
Alright, so while I do this, so I'm sort of surprised Preston hasn't liked it yet.
There's so much ground to cover in the Commonwealth. Where should we go next?
Let me know if there's
Scrap
anything I
that.
can do to lighten the load.
So, anyway, yeah, so you're helping the kitchen, and so basically one of the things you have to do at the end of the shift is you have to, clean out the, sink trap, the grease trap, you know, and so basically it's a hole in the ground by the sinks where you, what you got to do is you got to dip in there, and the junk kind of floats on the water that's in there, and you dip in there and you put it into a 5-gallon bucket, then you know throw it out,
Rather be off murdering a pint. This will do.
and so that keeps that keeps the grease trap clean and all that stuff, right? So now remember, this is the first day I've ever. This still cracks me up. The first day I've ever met Everson, never seen him in my life before. Well, I mean, I guess I'd seen him like at the unit, but I hadn't, you know, like talked or anything like that. He was newer to the unit, but so yeah, I mean, he was newer, and I just hadn't really met him before, you know, personally. So we're cleaning. Oh shoot. We're cleaning out the sink trap and putting all this nasty, gross stuff in a 5-gallon bucket. It's really disgusting, you know. And so I'd gotten to know him a little bit, you know, during the day, and you know, he's a great guy, really funny, and good soldier, all that stuff. But he says, I gotta make sure I say the right names because I can't give things away, but he says, hey Stubbs, the wizard, watch this. And he squatted down over the 5-gallon bucket. Now, his intent, his intent was to basically act like he was taking a poop, and that stuff would come out of his body, you know, which would have been kind of funny. Now, here's the thing, though. He chews tobacco. He had a plug-in, so he says, "Hey Stubbs, watch this," and he squats down over the 5-gallon bucket with all the nasty stuff in it, and goes to make like a fart noise, like, you know, or whatever, like acting like he just pooped it out into the thing, which would have been funny. But he did not account for the fact that he had a tobacco plug-in, so he spit his tobacco out, and it landed right in the middle of my chest. And so, from my point of view, this guy that I just met today said, "Hey Stubbs, watch this," and then just spit his tobacco right in the middle of my chest. Now, he's a smart guy too, and he realized what my perception would be, because he wouldn't even make the joke about pooping in the bucket like that. You know, he knew that from my point of view, he just said, "Watch this," and spit his tobacco on me. And the problem is, he was laughing so hard he couldn't explain himself, you know, because I was like, "What the French toast?" You know, like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? You know, but he's laughing so hard, like I gotta laugh too. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, and he's like respectfully wiping the tobacco stuff off my blouse, and you know, saying no, you know, but he's laughing so hard he can't explain it, you know, and so he finally explained it. It was really funny. He was horrified when he did it, you know, but you know, it's good. It had a good memory. You'd think somebody's spitting not just tobacco juice, but a plug of tobacco all the way out of their mouth onto your shirt, like right in the middle of the chest. You'd think that would not be a good memory, but it really is. It's just funny how we hold on to things, I suppose our brain does, where, you know, you think about that, and that, out of everything I did in the unit, in Army Aviation with Epperson for, you know, however many years, that's still one of my best memories of him, and we did a bunch of great things, you know, but I don't know if it's my best memory of him, but it's like it's a very fond memory, you know, and it's just, the funny thing is that just meeting a guy and he spits tobacco on you, he's thinking, okay, this guy may well just clock me, and it'll be go time or whatever. But you know, we became really good friends and stuff. But it's just interesting, I suppose, when you think about how your mind works, the things that you know, you remember and hold dear. You know, you think about like missions we flew and things like that. I mean, I remember them, but none of them really stick out particularly. You know, I mean, they're great. You know, it was fine, but yeah, the spitting of tobacco on me was something, and it's just a really good memory, you know. No two ways about it. You guys can comment about that if you want in there. maybe tell about one of your memories. Is you wouldn't normally identify it as something good, you know, but it's something that actually really is, and it actually becomes kind of meaningful, you know, in a way, if you think about it. Let's put some of these away. So let's take a nap here. I'm going to sleep in this bed. So that's interesting, and I don't think it's that unusual, because there's, you know, the old joke about, oh, too soon, you know, or there's a lot of times that happens just in humanity where something is really not funny at the time, but it actually becomes over time really funny. And actually, the tobacco spinning thing was funny immediately. And part of that is, can I go to Taffington? Gotta get the water from there. Part of that is in the military. There's you're bonded. You know, you've all sworn a common oath, and so there's a lot of giving the benefit of the doubt, and it's your brother. I mean, my actual brother was in the military too. He's an Army and artillery officer, as I mentioned. But everybody is, you know, in the Army is or really the military as a whole, even the Navy guys or Marines, the Air Force, whatever. They're all brethren, you know, and sisters and stuff. And so it's kind of funny. You see, you'll see where military branches pick on each other. You know, like we'll talk to Navy guy like never seen a talking squid, or you know, you're an anchor clicker or whatever, and they're like a ground pounder, you know, and the Air Force, like we call the chair force, you know, just.
You're a Minuteman, aren't you? Thought so. Oh, just wanted to say thanks for everything you fellas do.
Carla
Hey,
and
I
Preston
appreciate it.
We
are
need more
busy.
people like you.
If you wanted to make me a second
I don't
printing
have
press
it.
while you're
So,
at it.
yeah, so you poke fun at the Air Force, you know, as an Army guy, where, you know,
Nothing
things
I hate
like,
more than raiders scumbags. If you run into any, put a few down for me.
you know, their idea of field conditions is black. Their TV is black and white. You know, like and my brother's old boss was in the Air Force, and we'd always laugh. We'd go golfing, and we'd joke that he'd have to have a crew bus bring him to his golf cart. You know, because you know, an Air Force officer can't walk anywhere. You know? And so, you know, you have that sort of ribbing that goes along with that, and it's good natured. Sometimes I mean, you get into fights and stuff, but it's pretty good natured. And let's go report to. Let's put on our experience clothes. But yeah, it's good nature. We all realize really that we all need each other in the armed forces. You know, we joke about things and poke fun at each other, and but let me tell you something else. If a civilian tries to get it on it and poke fun at a branch, none of the branches accept that. You know, you don't get to poke fun at the Air
I've never
Force.
actually been in here before,
If you
but from what I hear, we better watch our step.
if you're not in the military, you know. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk to Daisy here. I will say this. So there's an airplane called the A-10 Thunderbolt. A Warthog is the fond name of it. And
Freedom Trail.
they are close battlefield support. That means that they fly in and support the infantry. That's what they're made to do. And they carry so much armament. They got this gun that runs down the length of the airplane. Comes out the nose, and it's amazing. And those pilots are so beloved by the troops.
Stay free, sister.
When they're on an army base,
Sticking around,
an A-10 pilot will never pay for a drink. All right, let's talk to Daisy.
Daisy.
You're back. How'd it go at the library? Get rid of those super mutants.
I managed to fight my way through the library. Oh, and I dropped off that book of yours.
Only 200 years past due. I know it was an odd request, but thanks for making the library a safer place. We gotta keep some old buildings sacred, you know. Here's your money.
That was nice. I don't know that Preston cared.
What, you dry? Head over to the third rail.
We'll see. Let's go up a level. We could do armorer. We don't need local leader any higher. That would be a good one. Okay, let's do Black Widow. And then we'll get 15% more damage in combat. We are getting right along. Let's see what it is we're going to do next. I think we will do this one here for the railroad. We probably need to start doing some of the, I don't know, I don't need ballistic fiber, I guess. I don't need to do all that. So what we're going to do is we'll head down and talk to Nick and get that going. And yeah, that's what they do. So okay, yeah, and I was also going to mention, I mentioned about the, oh, there's robots there we got to get. That will actually be good. There's a place up there that's pretty cool. Take the guys out of Quincy. Preston loves that as well. We'll probably, you know what, I think we're going to do that next. Let's go here first. Okay. So I mentioned, you know, the A-10 pilots they'll never have to buy a drink on. Oh, we need to get the agility thing from here too. Oh, let's put on our fighting clothes. Why is it doing that? There we go. And I'd mentioned where if a civilian tries to get out on, you know, or, you know, get in on poking fun at one of the service members, you know, it doesn't go well. So, a friend of mine, dearly beloved friend, one of two humans, that's not a family member that I would walk into a fire just because they asked me to. But that's my level of love for him. But he was in the Navy, and he was what was called or what is called, a corpsman. And that's just what the Navy calls a medic. And we call, the Army we call them medics, but the Navy they call them corpsmen. So he was a Navy corpsman. And what happened is, maybe go after that thing? I don't think so. I don't even know how to get back up from there. We'll let that go. So he was a Navy corpsman, and he was stationed.
You have a visual on
I'm not sure which naval base. Maybe in San Diego. I'm not sure. I can't unlock that. Great.
Lost, daddy friend. Keep your head down.
Hey, Rags. Anyway, so he is stationed at the hospital there. And so a Marine, goodbye Rags, a Marine guy came up and was giving him some guff, you know, kind of ragging on him for being stationed at the hospital. Look at this stab. Long distance. Awesome.
Yeah.
She's not blitzing up there. She's just stabbing from way back here. Chopped his head off from way over here. Anyway, the Marine was ragging on Michael, and Michael is the Navy corpsman. You know, because he was assigned to the hospital, and you know, it was fine. You know, Michael, it didn't hurt his feelings or anything like that. It's the ribbing that goes on between you know, branches, and you know, and the Marines generally hate it when you bring up that they don't have their own branch. They're part of the Department of the Navy. And, you know, so just stuff like that. So the Marine was kind of ragging on him about, you know, well, afraid of the water and all this stuff. And, you know, you're in the Navy but afraid to go to the sea. And, you know, I mean, really, you know, he's just poking fun because it's really kind of a dumb, really a dumb complaint if it's not just meant to be funny, because the military doesn't actually ask you, hey, how do you feel about going here or there? They just tell you, hey, report here. That's where you're going. You know, so. But, you know, who cares? You know, he's poking fun at him and, you know, just having some fun at his expense. That's the nature of it. But one of the civilian contractors that worked there wanted to get in on it too, and he was, you know, he's like, yeah, you afraid of the water, the Navy, or whatever, you know, being, you know, just kind of wanted to be in on it, wanted to be included. I guess he had FOMO, I don't know. And you got to stop the loot. And as soon as that guy did that, the Marine turned on the civilians, like, you know, did you ever serve? You know, and, I'm pretty sure that was interspersed with some colorful metaphors, you know. And, you know, basically, you know, he told the civilian, like, hey, when you take the oath and basically agree that you will give up to your life, then you can poke fun at the Navy.
Yeah.
Until then, shut your cake hole, basically, you know. And so that's kind of the idea that we will poke fun at each other, but don't make any mistake thinking that we actually hate each other, you know, in terms of branches. Just fun to poke fun at them, you know. I don't know, it's kind of like family when you know, you can pick on your brother and whatever, right? But anybody else picks on him, you're gonna fight him, you know. So that's interesting. Yeah, one time I was kidding around with the Marine, and I mean, he'd given me crap about how stupid the Army was, because when he was in Hawaii at Schofield Barracks as a Marine, he was digging a fighting position, and the way you have to do them is there's lines. I don't know how to exactly describe it. Well, I do, but so basically you put a stop on how far your weapon will. Whoa! I didn't want to do that. How far your weapon will traverse. So you're always firing in safe, and you're not gonna. Hello. Wow, that bird's invincible. Anyway, so you look at your you're putting in your firing position, and you have to, you know, sort of mark like your firing lane so that you don't shoot your friendlies. And so Bob was making fun that when he was there, that he goes to the end of his like left traverse, and there's this Army guy fiercely digging his, you know, foxhole, like right where Bob's line of fire, basically. So the Army guy was in the wrong place, and so Bob was giving me some crap about how stupid the Army is and all this stuff, and you know, it's fine. That's just what you do. But what I told Bob was, I said, you know what, I was in Army Aviation. You know, it's like, oh yeah, you know, whatever. Didn't really care.
There we go.
But the thing is I said, you know, it's interesting how the different services, and I really got him this because he thought I was being serious. I said, it's interesting, you know, we're flying the helicopters around, and it's interesting how the different branches actually call it different things. And so it was really like, what do you mean? I said, well, and again, he thought I was being serious about this now, like I just changed the topic or whatever. Like taking my medicine, you know. And so I said, yeah, well, I mean, they call them different things. It's kind of interesting how it evolved, you know, like The Air Force calls them whirlybirds, you know. The Army just, I mean, they just call them helicopters, you know. And the Navy calls them choppers. And the Marines, they call them, and then I pointed in the sky and went, ooh, ooh, ooh. And, you know, Bob could not help. He just started cracking up. You know, so anyway, all that to say, it's good-natured ribbing generally. I mean, there have been fights that are broken out and stuff. But most times it's good-natured, and you have a common bond. With all the branches, there's a similar, you know, experience that you've all maybe partaken in or endured, however you want to put it, and so you actually love each other. You pick on different branches, just it's like you sibling rivalry in the family and stuff. It's just it's not serious. But there's a PSA. If you're a civilian, don't poke fun at a branch of the military. Anyway, and I think most people don't anyway, but that one guy did.
McDonough has always been against the Minutemen. I never quite understood why.
Because Mary McDonald's a synth. So there. I said it. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up here. One of the things I need to do is find out if this works, because I have level 10 now. I want to see if Gunfu will apply to non-guns, because that would be pretty, I don't know. She's actually going to kill everybody before she gets into the fourth target, probably. But anyway, we'll see. I'll look that up. But we're gonna go find Nick, and we'll start looking to get. Yeah. I didn't say anything. Baby Sean back. So check out the Free Time Creators Collective. We're a group of content creators that do games. Gameplay like this, you got all sorts of different people. You got shorts and different techniques, different games, all sorts of stuff. And check out I'm Not Great first. The way you find us is go to Discord, look for the Free Time Creators Collective, and then find the different channels on there. I'm Stubbs the Wizard out there, so I'm actually Stubbs the Wizard everywhere. So check it out. But look at I'm Not Great. He's my brother from another mother that we do a lot of stuff together, a lot of Souls likes. Check out his channel first, and then you got Plumberry Delicious, Mindless Meat, K-Dog's Kennel, Holly's Adventure, certainly, Iris and Ophris, Belmont Bruno, another one. All sorts of great people out there. The only rule we have is be nice. Go out there, like, subscribe, give comments. You know the drill. Just be nice. It's all about being a positive community, watching the smaller channels grow, and being supportive. And come out and have fun with us. And as this video, I'd appreciate a like. Subscribe to the channel if you would. Give me some comments. I will answer all of them. I appreciate you watching. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making them. Thanks.